And by the way, Fox's Peter Doocy pressing the White House press secretary on the number of drugs that are pouring in from our southern border. Take a listen to this.
Life expectancies are going down at a rate not seen in a century, and part of that is being driven by drug overdoses. So what is the president going to do?
And we agree. But the fact that we are securing the border, the fact that we are securing record levels of funding from DHS so they can stop illicit drugs from entering into the country, the fact that it's not just drug traffickers that we're dealing with as well, we're stopping financiers.
All right. Congressman Mark Green, Republican from Tennessee, joins me now. Good morning to you, Congressman. You just returned from the border. There's two narratives here. The White House says no one's walking across. It's secure. What did you find when you got there?
Well, thanks for having me on the show. And yeah, we saw tens of thousands of people walking across the border crossing sites and in the gaps in the wall. We also went to, and of course, the cartels are doing that on purpose to overwhelm CBP and to cause CBP to move folks from one region to the other to process these individuals. And in those areas where the CBP is not, we saw game camera footage from farmers in those regions with just tens, hundreds of people camouflaged, wearing backpacks. We went to the drop-off points where they just dump the empty backpacks and hand the drugs off to a vehicle. There were literally hundreds of backpacks, hundreds of carpet shoes, because they're intentionally doing that so no footprints are made in the sand. I mean, this is the White House facilitating people breaking our laws.
And I want to get into the aspect of the drugs, fentanyl in particular. I believe it's the #1 cause of drug overdoses among deaths among 18 to 49-year-old. And the White House continues to kind of just either deny it or ignore it. But this is a national crisis, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a weapon of mass destruction. 107,000 Americans died last year from fentanyl overdose. In Tennessee, it's a 50% increase from the year prior. What's happening at our southern border is killing Americans, and the president is really facilitating it. If you look at, I mean, when I was down there, we discovered that they've turned off the fiber optic sensors, the motion sensors. They told CBP to turn off the cameras. Look at Biden's 2023 budget. It increases processors to get more people in, but it decreases detention and zeros deportation. The interim final rule that they're trying to push to basically change the credible fear process so that there's no judge involved. That it just, everything they're doing is to speed people, more people into the United States. This notion that people aren't walking across is a blatant lie.
Yes, and we have the video to prove it. But the other galling thing is these sanctuary cities, Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, all the mayors of those cities crying foul, calling Texas Governor Greg Abbott a racist. It's just because all of a sudden the border crisis has become a reality for these cities as well, right?
Yeah, it's not racism. Look, 130 countries have come across the southern border. When I was in Arizona just yesterday, a group of Russians, these are white people, you know, white Europeans, were there in processing. And those people are being bused to Chicago, too. So it's not an issue of racism. It's Texas is overwhelmed. In fact, every state in America is a border state now. Biden's people, the NGOs are sending them to Tennessee. We had airplane loads show up in Chattanooga and others in Knoxville. So look, they're just going to say everything that Republicans do are racist. I can't wait for the president's presentation tonight to talk about how all the MAGA people are fascists. And look, if they can't do anything but call people names, it's ridiculous.
Do you think the country as a whole is aware of what's going on? I mean, Fox News, Fox Business, we cover it, but a lot of the mainstream media outlets do not, which I find staggering. But, you know, does the majority of America, in your opinion, understand what's going on at the southern border?
I think if Americans are watching the propaganda machine of the progressive media, no, they're probably not seeing what's happening. They're listening to the White House press secretary say that nothing's wrong, And unfortunately, you know, I think people who get their news only from that source, they're probably believing it. But here in Tennessee, I mean, the vast majority of the folks say that the southern border is the #1 issue. You know, they're concerned about their security, and they're concerned about the cost of this. It's not just the lives, the human tragedy of fentanyl. It's also uncompensated care in our hospitals that are increasing the costs of everybody's health insurance. It's increased people in our jails. It costs about $80 a day to house somebody in a jail. That's in every county is seeing millions of dollars increase in the cost. So this is massively disturbing and harming Americans, and Biden just doesn't seem to care. In fact, they're making it happen.
It's remarkable. They are indeed. We'll have to leave it there. But Congressman Mark Green, Republican from Tennessee, great to have you,
Thanks,
sir,
Ashley.
this morning. We do appreciate your insight.